Hello there, and thank you so much for clicking on my review of the 2022 Volvo XC40 Recharge electric subcompact SUV. The XC40 Recharge was Volvo's first full electric vehicle. While the XC40 was originally launched as a gas vehicle in late 2017, the XC40 Recharge was announced 2 years later in October 2019, with sales beginning in late 2020. There are a lot of things that the XC40 Recharge brings to the table. For one, it shares the frame and many of the internals of the gas-powered XC40, except for obviously electrified infrastructure. Unfortunately, this brings some notable downsides that I'll discuss later in the review. That said, there are some killer features the XC40 does possess. For one, the XC40 Recharge with its dual electric motors can put out an insane 402 horsepower, which will take you from 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. On top of this, the 78 kWh battery would give you a real-world range of 220 kilometers or 200 miles, and you can fast charge it at a peak rate of 150 kilowatts, which Volvo claims will charge your battery from 10 to 80% in just 37 minutes. But before I continue with the review though, I just want to give a big shout out to our friends at Tripod Photo, Video and Drone on Vancouver Island. We're happy to be one of their clients that always gives a hand on putting these videos together. If you're in the Nanaimo area looking for professional photo, video and drone services, they can help. Link to the website will be in a pinned comment below. So let's get back to the review. The XC40 Recharge is a subcompact electric SUV, and it basically is a gas-powered XC40 that was fully electrified. The biggest difference is that the gas engine has been removed. Instead, the dual electric motors are in the front and rear axles. The front engine is now covered with a plastic cover, and there is a small storage compartment up front for small items. The batteries lie under the cab, and the XC40 Recharge comes in at a hefty 4,700 pounds, which is nearly 1,000 pounds heavier than the gas XC40. That said, Volvo has a reputation for safety, and the XC40 Recharge is no exception to the rule. It has an IIHS top safety pick, and Volvo's IntelliSafe is standard, meaning you get adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and pre-collision assistance that can even detect cyclists. Volvo also engineered the XC40 Recharge to keep you safe if you accidentally drive off the road. Sensors will detect vehicle roll angle and pre-tightened seatbelts to keep occupants safe. The XC40 also has numerous passenger and side airbags. Now the XC40 does things a little differently than most other manufacturers. When you start the XC40 Recharge, it isn't an on button you press. Instead, when you jump inside the car and into the driver's seat, the XC40 Recharge will detect the key. From there, your full screen instrument gauge will tell you to put the car in either drive or reverse. All you have to do is push the drive shaft to forward or back for drive or reverse, and you're good to go. If you want to park, you press the P button, the car will park, and put the parking brake on immediately. When you get out of the car shuts down. You can lock it by pressing the handle outside. So with the XC40 Recharge, you literally get in and drive, and there isn't even an on button. If you're a single driver, this is amazing and really simple to use, but unfortunately it does have one big downside. Because there's no on button, if you want to stay in your vehicle and have the air conditioning stay on a hot day, you can't. The XC40 Recharge will just shut off on you after a few minutes, and you have to get out of the car and get back in to turn it on again. Also, unlike a Tesla, there is no camping mode, so you can't sleep in the back of the car overnight with air conditioning or heating on. While I love the design philosophy of the XC40 Recharge's ignition system and its simplicity, in practice it definitely needs some more refinement. This was the one big thing about the XC40 Recharge that I really felt could have been improved. Now the XC40 Recharge still does nearly everything else with refinement and class that does not disappoint. For example, even the plastic windshield wiper lever has super tactile increments when you twist it. Also, the steering wheel feels really nice to handle with a smooth finish, and the buttons feel premium. The Volvo XC40 Recharge's interior is superb. The buttons and fixtures are all super high end, and everything about it feels tight and solid to the touch. Volvo also used soft touch fabrics through the cabin, and it was clear that interior details are really important to Volvo. The suede and leather seats are also super comfortable and they are heated and cool. They have memory seat functions that do a really good job at just hugging one's body. I love them. In the rear, passengers also get comfortable seats and they're heated, which is nice. The rear passengers also get cup holders and USB plus 12-volt power at the console. However, I did notice it was odd that the transmission hub was still there despite this being an electric vehicle. Strange. Sound is provided by an awesome Harman and Kardon sound system, and Volvo's infotainment system, in my opinion, focuses on simplicity and streamlined design. The infotainment system's 9-inch touchscreen is powered by Google's Android operating system. From here, you can get access to Google Maps, including Google satellite imagery, and can even pull up the nearby electric charging stations at the touch of a button. You can also access your media phone connectivity as well as your vehicle's estimated range. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are supported. You can also access vehicle settings, which will let you change lighting, locks, and you can even toggle on driving firmness levels as well as one pedal drive if that's what you prefer. Last but certainly not least is a 360 camera, which gives you a bird's eye view around your XC40 Recharge. The camera comes on when you reverse or if the proximity sensors detect nearby objects. Very cool but equally useful. Now before I talk about the trunk area, I do want to cover some areas of weakness that I noticed in the XC40 Recharge. While I absolutely love the interior, there's another oversight that I immediately noticed. Despite being an electric vehicle, there's not a single 120 volt standard power outlet anywhere to be found. Now for some people that won't matter, but if you want to power laptops or electronic devices, if you need more power than 120 watts from the 12 volt outlet, you're out of luck. This was a huge miss for me in my opinion. I hope Volvo fixes this in the future. Considering this is an electric vehicle with a 78 kilowatt hour battery, I can't imagine this would be a tough fix for the engineering team. So to wrap up the interior, the XC40 Recharge's rear is also really well implemented in design. The tailgate is automatic and you can swipe your foot under the bumper to open it, which is helpful if your hands are full. Volvo's engineers really optimize every inch of space in this vehicle. When the seats are down, everything folds flat, which not all cars do. There's also an opening in the middle seat that lets you put skis or long objects through. Under the trunk, you have more room as well as storage area for Volvo's provided home charger and roadside supplies. Seats fold down at the touch of a button. Now that we've covered the interior, let's jump inside and take the XC40 Recharge for a spin. The XC40 Recharge is an all-wheel drive vehicle, so you can take it off the beaten path within reason, and if you live in cold or snowy climate, you have the power of 4 wheels rather than 2. I took it out in the wilderness of Vancouver Island and I had no troubles off-roading and getting more remote places. There's also an off-road mode which increases traction at the price of speed. I drove from Vancouver to Tofino on the western side of Vancouver Island, and this trip was full of tight hairpin bends, and at some points we were literally driving on the sides of mountains. The XC40 Recharge delivers superb on-road performance to say the least. XC40 Recharge is tight around the corners and driving inputs feel crisp and precise. The suspension is definitely stiffer, but it's a good kind of stiff. The stiff that improves handling, but at the same time is enough to not hurt your butt over speed bumps. I cannot say enough great things about how the XC40 Recharge handles, and in my opinion, Volvo nailed the handling. The XC40 Recharge also felt really nimble and light, and even when you threw it around the corners, you felt confident the car could actually handle it. Acceleration was also excellent, which you could come to expect from electric vehicles with the instant torque response. When you jump on the gas, you feel it, and 402 horsepower is a lot of power, especially for such a small vehicle. You should be expecting a sub 5 second 0 to 60 time, which is insane for a non-sports car even in 2022. If you like driving, the XC40 Recharge will not disappoint, I can promise you that. When it comes to charging the Volvo XC40 Recharge, it can support up 150 kilowatt peak charging, and Volvo claims the XC40 Recharge can go from 10% to 80% charge in 37 minutes. I mostly slow charged the XC40 Recharge with a level 2 charger, which took around 14 hours for a full charge, and unfortunately I only had access to a level 3 50 kilowatt charger in Tofino, so I wasn't able to test Volvo's charging claims. That said, I have no reason not to believe them. On a full charge, I got around 320 kilometers or 200 miles of rear-wheel range, which to me was enough for my needs. However, your mileage may vary, no pun intended. So this kind of wraps up my review of the 2022 Volvo XC40 Recharge. Overall, I really like the vehicle. It drives like a dream with super sharp handling, peppy acceleration, and at 320 kilometers of range, I felt it had enough for my needs. The interior was also excellent. But that said, some notable oversights in my opinion take away from the otherwise perfect subcompact SUV. For one, no camping mode and the fact that there are no 120 volt power outlets are a big disappointment for me. I really hope Volvo fixes some of the criticisms I had with the vehicle and improves it for the next generation. At the end of the day, the Volvo XC40 Recharge is still an excellent vehicle and something I could definitely recommend. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you like this review, please leave a like or sub as it means so much to me. Thank you again for clicking on my review, and please tune again for a new review coming soon.